Let's talk about the biggest con in modern fitness. And I don't mean some shady supplement company hustling pre workout powders. I mean the system you think is helping you, but is actually crippling you. Subscription programs, fancy apps, endless 30-day challenges, science backed plans sold by someone with a weekend certification and a strong Instagram following. These things do not make you stronger, they make you dependent. They turn you from a capable human into a checklist zombie, a slave to notifications, algorithms, and the next shiny promise. Think about it. How often do you feel like you can make a decision on your own in the gym and training, or even just you're in your own body? Or do you wait for a cue, a rep, a video, a plan, a coach? Modern fitness has trained you to outsource your willpower. You've handed over your autonomy because it's easier. Following a plan is simpler than thinking. A watch tells you when to breathe, an app tells you when to rest, a coach tells you how to move. You are compliant, not capable. And psychologists have a term for this: learned dependency. It's exactly what it sounds like. When you train under constant guidance, when every movement, every volume, every intensity is dictated by someone else, or worse, a cold, unfeeling algorithm, your brain stops making decisions. Your nervous system stops adapting. Your body stops responding in a way that builds resilience. You become fragile. And you are no longer a sovereign agent of your own development. You are a puppet dancing to the tune of notifications and glossy Instagram posts. Now, let's be clear. I'm not saying guidance is inherently bad. Science loves structures, coaches have value, but there's a difference between guidance and dependency, and most modern fitness is designed to produce the latter. Subscription programs exist in the cycle of content consumption. One month ends, another begins. You never stop chasing someone else's idea of progress. You are locked in. Compliance becomes the metric, not the capability. The measure of success is how many days you show up on the app, not whether your body can survive a real world challenge. And make no mistake, survival is exactly what you are losing. Now, within all of this, let's talk about data addiction, because this is the cruelest joke of them all. Heart rate monitors, smartwatches, sleep trackers, HRV apps, these devices promise precision, optimization, ultimate performance. They tell you exactly how to train, when to rest, and even when you should feel motivated. These tools are only as good as the human using them, and most people aren't really using them. They are being used instead. You are now a slave to the data. Your decisions aren't guided by intuition or experience. They are guided by lines, graphs, and color charts telling you that 64% sleep efficiency is suboptimal human. Let me explain why this is a problem. Your nervous system didn't evolve to follow algorithms. Your muscular skeletal system didn't evolve to peak once every 6 weeks according to an arbitrary linear periodization chart. Your body was designed for variability, for stress, for adaptation in unpredictable environments. Now, because you are obsessed with numbers, you are programming you to be fragile. You are over specializing. You obsess over recovery and you analyze yourself into paralysis. You sit scrolling through HRV graph, wondering if today is a high readiness day, when in reality, your body could probably handle a brutal 90-minute session and your mind would thrive on it. But you do not trust yourself. You trust the device. You trust the app. You trust the subscription plan. And that trust is slowly eroding your adaptability. Over specialization is a quiet killer. When every program is designed to maximize a single lift, a single movement pattern, or a single metric, your body loses its versatility. You look like a peak athlete in one narrow domain, but step outside the box, you're carrying a heavy pack, you're running across uneven terrain, you're lifting something awkward, like a 50-pound toddler, and you will crumble. Fragility masquerades as fitness. It's a beautiful illusion until you need your body for something real, and by then, it's too late. Now we have the overgrowing obsession with recovery. Foam rollers, massage guns, cryotherapy, active recovery apps, all marketed as essential tools for maximizing performance. But your body does not need perfect recovery. It needs stress, exposure, adaptation. The human body thrives on challenge, not comfort. Too much rest, too much comfort, and too much optimization, and you will lose your readiness. You lose your toughness. You become a library knowledge of how to train without ever actually being tested. And the irony on that is delicious because we've convinced ourselves that avoiding discomfort is the path to progress, when in reality, avoiding discomfort is exactly how we become weak. Then becomes the optimization addiction, the endless tweaking, the obsession with perfect programming, perfect nutrition, perfect sleep, perfect metrics. People get so lost in the pursuit of perfection that they actually never really train. This is the paralysis by analysis. It's the fitness equivalent of sitting in a bunker planning for a war that never comes, while the real world laughs at your preparedness. And science tells you that progress favors execution over perfection, repetition over theory, stress over spreadsheets. And yet here we are, drowning in data, lost in the pursuit of optimization, forgetting that the ultimate test of training is not an HRV score, but your capability when it matters. True strength, the kind that matters in life and in a meaningful physical challenge, is self-led. Sovereign athletes don't wait for apps, they don't live by subscriptions, they don't worship the next shiny piece of gear. They know when to push, they know when to adapt, they know when to rest, and they know it without asking for permission. They trust their body because they understand it, not because a watch told them to. They make decisions, they take risks, and they thrive in uncertainty. That is sovereignty, that is capability, that is real fitness. And this is where most modern fitness fails you. Not because it's ineffective, not because you can't get aesthetic results or some temporary performance spike. It fails you because it removes agency. It removes adaptability. It removes sovereignty. It turns you into a follower, a consumer, a compliant participant in someone else's narrative. And capability dies, durability is next. Because a body that cannot adapt is a body that cannot endure. A mind that cannot decide is a mind that cannot persist. Dependency might sell programs, but it kills adaptability. And without adaptability, durability is dead. Now, I want you to think about your own training. How often do you move because you decided to? How often do you lift, carry, run, or challenge yourself outside of the plan? How often do you expose yourself to real stress, uneven terrain, awkward loads, prolonged effort, instead of the sterile environment of a gym guided by someone else's program? And the answers are probably going to be uncomfortable, but they will matter. They are the fraction points in your own sovereignty. The solution here is not complicated. It isn't in another subscription, it isn't in another watch or another influencer telling you how to breathe. The solution is brutal, simple, and entirely within your control. You have to take ownership. Decide by yourself, move for yourself, train for capability, not compliance. Measure yourself by your ability to endure, adapt, and respond. Not by someone else's metric or milestone. Start small if you have to. Make decisions in real time. Learn your limits by pushing them, not by scrolling past them. And let discomfort guide you. Let it challenge and educate you, and let autonomy shape you. Because the moment you stop outsourcing your power is the moment you reclaim it. Sovereignty isn't something a program can give you. It isn't something a gadget can dictate. Sovereignty is something you build by choosing to endure, choosing to adapt, choosing to lead yourself. Every time you follow blindly, you surrender that choice. Every time you question, you strengthen it. Every time you decide without permission, you carve a little more of your sovereign athlete into your being. Stop pretending your subscription plan is strength. Stop worshiping the algorithm. Stop trusting devices more than your instincts, your body, your mind. Dependency is disguised as fitness is everywhere. It's comfortable, it's convenient, and it's deadly. If you want real capability, if you want to be a human that can respond to the unexpected, survive the brutal, and thrive under pressure, you must take the reins. And the truth is uncomfortable. It usually is, but it's also very liberating. Dependency might sell programs, it might fill screens, it might make influencers rich, but it cannot give you sovereignty. And without sovereignty, adaptability dies. And without adaptability, durability becomes a fantasy. You cannot outsource the hard work of becoming capable. You cannot buy resilience. You cannot download grit. You must grow it yourself in real time under real stress in real life. So next time you feel like your program, your app, or your tracker is training you, ask yourself this: are you truly capable? Or are you just compliant? And then decide in that moment to take your power back. Train like a sovereign. Move like a capable human. Decide like a master of your own life, because nothing else matters. Dependency might feel safe, but safety never builds strength. Only sovereignty does. Only capability does. And only by reclaiming both will you ever be truly prepared. Not for Instagram, not for your coach, not for the next program, but for life itself. Dependency disguised as fitness is a lie. Recognize it, reject it, and then when you've rebuilt your ability to act, adapt, and endure, you'll be ready for the next lesson of durability. Because without sovereignty and adaptability, nothing else matters. Now, aside from your own sovereignty and being able to be trained and being dependent, modern training has done one other thing to you. Because you think you might be strong, you think you might be fit, you think you're ready for anything because you can crush a set of 10 dumbbell curls with perfect form, hit the treadmill interval, or post a new PR on Instagram. But you're not. You are a fragile temple pretending to be a fortress. And the reason is simple. Modern fitness avoids suffering. It has sanitized training into something comfortable, predictable, and safe. Now, I know there are programs out there that are not, but there are a lot of programs that have done this. Think about it. Your average program today is designed to minimize risk, minimize effort, minimize discomfort. Everybody wants to play it safe. Every exercise is optimized to avoid failure. Every session is regimented to prevent fatigue, and every metric is curated to make you feel competent without ever being truly tested. It is a low risk, low reward. Even within the realm of CrossFit, you still see this. Even though they aim for variability in testing yourself in hero challenges, you still see people dialing it back and playing it safe. And the tragic part, you bought it. You embraced it, you pay for it, you track it obsessively. Comfort does not build resilience. It doesn't build toughness. It doesn't build capability. It builds your fragility. Contrast that with old school durability. I'm talking about rucking with a heavy pack over rugged terrain for hours, days of manual labor that your body battered but functional, long effort runs where your mind and body scream for mercy, training that hurts, that humbles, that breaks you down and forces you to rebuild stronger. It's never sexy. It won't make a highlight reel. No influencer is going to post it, and there are no hashtags to validate. But it forged systems that could survive anything because it forced the body to adapt to the real world, not a padded gym floor. Durability is not a mystical concept or some pseudo spiritual bro speak. It's grounded in physiology. When you expose yourself to repeated stress, mechanical, metabolic, neurological, your body will adapt. Connective tissue thickens. Ligaments and tendons remodel to handle stress without tearing. Mitochondrial density increases, giving your cells more energy and resilience under prolonged stress. Your nervous system becomes robust, capable of coordinating complex movements under fatigue, responding to unexpected loads, and recovering faster from perturbations. This is anti fragility, not merely surviving stress, but thriving because of it. But there is a point to this. It's not just simply going and stressing yourself and doing the same workout over and over again. You have to progressively overload yourself. Think of it this way. Your muscles are the showy exteriors, but they're nothing without the systems underneath. Your tendons, your ligaments, your fascia, your mitochondria, your neural pathways. These are the foundations of a battle-tested body. Modern training neglects them. Isolation curls, machine exercises, cushion, cardio sessions. Physical endurance is obvious. Can you lift, carry, run, row, or push under fatigue? Mental endurance is subtle but crucial. Can you tolerate discomfort, uncertainty, and relentless challenge without collapsing? And then you have environmental endurance. This one's often ignored. Can your body and mind adapt to heat, cold, terrain, and unexpected stressors? And modern programs treat these as peripheral. They are the core. Without them, you are a beautifully sculpted but useless organism in the real world. You see, when you load connective tissue properly, think weighted carries, loaded marches, heavy compound lifts through full ranges of motions, you are going to stimulate fibroblasts to produce collagen and cross-linked fibers. This literally strengthens your tendons and ligaments, creating a resilient web capable of withstanding loads. Mitochondria respond to sustained, moderate intensity work and repeat exposure to stress. The more you challenge them, the denser they become, improving endurance and recovery at the cellular level. Your autonomic nervous system also adapts. Heart rate variability improves, stress responses normalize, and your nervous system becomes a robust conductor of force, timing, and movement efficiency. Another aspect that's often overlooked by influencers and coaches is the role of suffering in its ability to build resilience. There's a reason old school training was painful, grueling, and prolonged. It forced adaptation on multiple levels. Not only did your tissue strengthen, but your mind learned persistence. Your system learned to cope with the unexpected. Every step up a mountain, every mile carrying extra load, every rep completed when your body screamed stop. These were not just physical exercises, they are resilience drills, shaping you into a human capable of surviving and thriving under pressure. Modern fitness has sanitized all of this. Pain is treated as a liability. Fatigue is a mistake. Discomfort is a problem to be mitigated rather than a teacher to be respected. And the result? Fragility disguised as fitness. Now, I want to be very clear here. Durability is not built in the gym alone. You can build some of it in the gym, but it's not just there. It's built in environments that challenge all your systems simultaneously. Running, carrying, climbing, swimming, long efforts to lows. These should not be optional. They should be foundational within your programming. And they are intentionally absent from most modern training programs because they are hard to sell. You cannot monetize suffering. You can't put a 30-day hashtag on it. You cannot create a glossy YouTube reel that makes people feel like they're winning when they're actually learning nothing. So instead, the industry sells comfort. You buy it. The consequences of this are obvious. Bodies become specialized in narrow domains, but fragile in the real world. People can lift 300 pounds in a controlled environment, but collapse under awkward loads. They can sprint on a treadmill, but fail to endure a long day hike. They can perform perfect push-ups, but crumble under uneven terrain or prolonged stress. Their nervous systems remain untested. Their connective tissue underdeveloped. Their mitochondria underutilized, measurable, and useless when unpredictably enters the equation. That is the death of durability. And mental durability suffers as well. By avoiding suffering, by repeating the same things over and over again, never truly challenging yourself, we condition the mind to expect ease. Discomfort becomes intolerable. Fatigue becomes a signal to quit rather than an invitation to adapt. Every setback triggers panic instead of problem solving. The mind mirrors the body, untested, unprepared, and fragile. A society of people who train for comfort produces bodies and minds that shatter at the first sign of sustained challenge. Durability is not just surviving strain, it's thriving under it. It's the ability to endure, recover, adapt, physically, mentally, environmentally. That is what modern fitness removes from you. In doing so, it makes you programmable. Someone else decides what your limits are. Someone else decides how you recover. Someone else decides when you push, when you rest, and what failure looks like. This is not an accident. This is the point. You are easier to sell, easier to manage, and easier to monetize when your body is fragile. Your mind is compliant, and your sovereignty is gone. And yet, people continue to chase these metrics. They chase the aesthetics. They chase PRs on controlled lifts. They chase temporary validation. They never chase durability. They never chase anti fragility. They never expose themselves to real stress. And the result is predictable. Now, this is not everyone. You still have your ultra runners performing insane levels of work. You are having people go out and do multi day hero workouts. You have people truly pushing the limits of human endurance. But they are the rarity. They are the outspoken vocal minority. When you look at the majority of people out there, they are not doing this. Because building durability is uncomfortable, it is inconvenient, it is humbling, demands effort over entertainment, function over aesthetics, and adaptation over approval. Carrying heavy loads for long distance. How many people do a sandbag bear hug carry for a mile? Or they run beyond their comfort. They go run up a mountain for 20 miles. Or they lift unpredictably. They climb, they crawl, and push beyond fatigue. Who's done a bear crawl with a weighted vest for half a mile? Allow your body and mind to be tested. Let discomfort teach you. Let failure educate you. This is the path to true durability. Remember, durability isn't just physical, it's integrated. Physical, mental, environmental. You don't just endure a long run or heavy carry, you endure the mental strain of prolonged effort, the frustration of slow progress, the uncertainty of fatigue, and the environmental challenges your body was designed to handle. The next time it's raining outside, pick up a sandbag and carry it down the street in the rain. It's a perfect way to test your durability. And once you have built durability, you will understand the difference between surviving in a padded gym and thriving in the real world. You will no longer be swayed by marketing metrics of comfort. You'll be capable of real effort, real adaptation, real resilience. That is the essence of a battle-tested fortress. That is what modern fitness has taken from you. That is what you must reclaim. And remember, without durability, adaptability dies. And without adaptability, everything else, strength, capability, sovereignty, becomes meaningless. The first step to reclaiming true fitness is to endure, adapt, and rebuild a body that can survive anything, because life, like training, is not safe, and comfort will never make you strong. Next up, we're going to talk about money. Not just the dollars in your wallet, but the invisible currency you hand over every time you step into a gym. Click subscribe or download the next shiny app promise you the ultimate fitness. Modern fitness is not about you, it's about profit. You are not the beneficiary of your workouts, your supplements, and your training programs. You are the product. Every time you buy new shoes designed for a perfect gait, every time you slam down a new pre workout promising to ignite superhuman energy, every time you subscribe to a science backed 12-week plan curated by some Instagram influencer with a weekend certification, someone somewhere is getting rich off your perceived inadequacy. And you know what's brilliant about this system? It doesn't even have to work. It only has to keep you chasing the next fix. Modern fitness marketing is a cycle of dependency disguised as progress. Step 1, you break. You get frustrated, you plateau, you fail. Step 2, someone sells you the solution. New shoes, new plan, new pill, new program. Step 3, rinse, repeat. It's a fitness version of a slot machine, except instead of quarters, you're feeding your time, energy, and attention to a machine designed to harvest your frustration. You get temporary relief, maybe a minor aesthetic change, and then surprise, you get hit with another plateau, and the cycle starts over again. Brilliantly profitable, devastatingly effective at stealing your autonomy. Think about capability for a second. Modern programs are designed to reduce variability, limit risk, and maximize compliance. The industry benefits when you can't do anything without a program. When you are fragile, unadaptable, and dependent, you are easier to monetize. If you could lift, run, carry, and move efficiently in unpredictable environments without guidance, where would the subscriptions, the pre-workouts, the essential gear go? That's right, nowhere. Fragility is the product. And every gap in your capability is a dollar in someone else's pocket. Look at the supplements. They are a perfect example. Whey protein, creatine, BCAAs, pre-workout, post-workout, intra-workout, adaptogens, thermogenics. The list is endless. Do you really need any of these to survive, to adapt, to get stronger? No. Do they make you dependent on a system that convinces you cannot progress without them? Absolutely. The industry thrives when your baseline capability is insufficient. The weaker you are without their products, the more you'll pay. It's genius in a predatory set of way. And then there's the equipment. Every year, the fitness industry releases a new batch of gimmicks promising to transform your body in 12 weeks. Adjustable dumbbells, kettlebells with tracking sensors, smart rosters, high-tech treadmills. Why? Because they create an illusion of progress while making you reliant on gear you don't actually need. You could run up a hill carrying a backpack with a heavy load and get more functional adaptation than any smart treadmill will ever deliver. But that doesn't sell. Being uncomfortable doesn't trend. Fragile humans do. Fragile humans buy. Now let's talk about the programs and the certifications. The market is flooded with them. From CrossFit boxes to boutique gyms to online plans, 30-day challenges, and guaranteed transformations. The common denominator is control. They tell you what to do, when to do it, and how to measure success. The smarter you follow it, the more dependent you become. You step outside the plan and suddenly you feel lost. You doubt yourself. You need another course, another coach, another plan. This is not coincidence, it's a business model. Dependency equals dollars. Capability equals bankruptcy for the system. And like many things I talk about, science supports this idea, though most marketers will ignore it. Adaptation requires variability. The nervous system, connective tissue, energy systems, metabolic pathways all respond to stress. We talk about this so often. But the industry's focus on curated, risk-averse, aesthetic-driven programs minimizes stress that actually produces true adaptation. Instead, it produces compliance. You follow instructions. You hit their metrics. You measure progress by their likes, their reps, their HRV scores. You feel good, but you don't get truly durable. You just become predictable. And predictable is easy to sell to. And there's nothing inherently evil about capitalism. Businesses exist to make money. The problem is when the product they sell is empowerment while systematically eroding the very thing it claims to build, capability. This is exactly why you see so many glossy transformations on social media. Everyone looks capable in their tiny controlled environment. But once you remove the plan, the perfect floor, the padding, and the filters, and the illusion will crumble. You've been trained to look good while doing good and not to be actually strong. Again, I want to make sure people are very clear of this because I'm going to get comments on this. Strong is not just the size of your biceps or your quads, because you've been trained to consume, not to adapt. And the result is fragility becomes profitable. And this is where the Forge Grip pillar of adaptability comes in. True athletes don't need constant upgrades. They don't need new gear, new programs, or endless coaching cues to function. They can train anywhere with anything under any conditions. Adaptability is the ultimate middle finger to the industry capture of your body. It is the reclamation of sovereignty. If you can adapt, improvise, and respond to no subscription, no pre-workout, or shiny new app can enslave you. You're self-reliant, you're capable, you're anti-fragile, and the best of all, you're unprofitable to the machine. Think about it. Here's the good news in all this. Adaptability can be trained. It requires no subscription. It requires no gadget. It requires no influencer telling you that a particular macro ratio or HRV score is your destiny. Adaptability is built through challenge, exposure, and creative problem solving. It's built by moving in ways that your body is not accustomed to. Carrying loads in uneven terrain, running longer than you think possible, lifting awkward weights, crawling, climbing, forcing your body to negotiate the real world rather than the padded, perfectly curated environment. The adaptable athlete learns by doing, testing, improvising, and by surviving. This could be as simple as taking, and for those that do CrossFit Hero workouts, that means constantly changing them and adapting them and making them something more than what they are. You are always adapting the workout to be more, to create challenges, to create something even crazier or even evolving. Adaptability is not about being flashy. It's not about aesthetics. It's about function. It's about survival. The adaptable human doesn't care about Instagram validation, metrics, or gear. They care about capability. And the more capable you are, the less the industry can control you. The more autonomous you become, the less profitable you are. That's why they flood the market with gadgets, supplements, and programs. They want you dependent. They want you predictable. By cultivating adaptability, you reclaim your body, your sovereignty, and your resilience. You no longer need the program, the app, or the supplement to function. You become uncontainable. Once you understand this, the path forward becomes clear. You stop chasing every new fix, stop buying into every new program, every plan, every gadget. You stop giving your autonomy away for a temporary validation. You start training for adaptability. You train for capability. You train for resilience. You move outside of comfort. You expose yourself to stress. You improvise, challenge yourself, survive without guidance, and in doing so, you reclaim control of your own body and your mind. You reclaim your power. You reclaim your life. So the next time you see a shiny new pre-workout, a new plan, or a new essential piece of gear, ask yourself, do I need this to survive, adapt, and thrive? Or does it exist to make me dependent, fragile, and profitable to someone else? And choose wisely. Adapt, improvise, train like a sovereign human, because the next level, the level beyond durability and adaptability, isn't about your body at all. It's about your mind. It's about the mindset that never stops expanding. And that, my friend, is where we go to next. I'm probably going to piss a lot of people off in this next segment because it's not how a lot of people think. Because fitness is not about the finish line. It's not a 12-week program. It is not a shiny transformation or a moment where you can hang a medal on your wall and say, I'm done. And yes, I have a lot of medals on my wall, and I can tell you right now, I am not done. If you are chasing an endpoint, congratulations, you've already been brainwashed though. The industry wants you to believe there's a finish line because finish lines sell subscriptions, gear, supplements, race bibs. There's only one true path, the forged mindset. The forged mindset is brutal in its simplicity. You train for capability, not completion. Every session, every rep, every step, every mile, every microcycle, mesocycle, macrocycle is a test. Every failure is data. Every setback is feedback. Progress is never going to be measured by a number on a scale, a PR, or a before and after photo of that 100-mile run you just did. Progress is measured by how much closer you are to evolving yourself, and by your ability to push past yesterday's limits without selling your autonomy to a program, a gadget, or a subscription. Look, extrinsic motivation is the drug the fitness industry sells. Likes, PRs, perform, followers, badges, certifications. These are all dopamine hits designed to keep you chasing external validation instead of building intrinsic capability. You've been conditioned to seek the applause of a machine, from Instagrams to apps to HRV scores to your wearable tracker beeping at you when you did a good job. Instead of listening to your body, your mind, your instincts, true strength comes from intrinsic motivation, from the internal drive to adapt, evolve, and expand your potential. Not to impress, not to accumulate likes, not to hit an arbitrary number on a scale. Intrinsic motivation is the engine. Extrinsic validation is a distraction. The forged mindset is the antidote to the fragility the industry has engineered. When you embrace it, every challenge becomes a lever for growth. Every setback becomes an opportunity to test your limits, analyze your performance, and adapt without asking for permission. Did I miss a lift? You analyze it, you adjust, and attack again. Did you plateau on a run? Step back, reassess, adapt. It's a lifelong forge, not a finite plan. And it's exhausting if you try to fake it. And that's why most people quit. They don't have the stomach for the grind without the external validation. They're chasing finish lines, they're chasing comfort, and they're fragile. From a physiological perspective, the forged mindset optimizes adaptation. When you train without fixating on a finish line, your nervous system, connective tissue, and energy systems are stressed strategically over time. You avoid burnout because your metric isn't completion. Your metric is capability. Your mitochondria respond to repeated, meaningful stress. Your connective tissue strengthens with progressive, real-world loads. Your nervous system adapts to variability and unpredictability. Your mind grows accustomed to discomfort. You are not chasing ephemeral PRs. You are building the anti-fragility we're all trying to talk about. Let's connect this to adversity. Most people run from it. Modern fitness programs sanitize adversity, so you never encounter the situations that truly forge resilience. You keep doing the same hard, brutal workouts over and over again. That keeps you predictable. But adversity is not a curse. Adversity is the raw material for evolution. Each grueling session, each long carry, each mental hurdle is feedback, a mirror showing you exactly what needs to improve. The forged mindset doesn't seek adversity to feel validated, it uses adversity to evolve. Pain, fatigue, and challenge are not punishments. They are data points, tools for self-improvement. They never end because you never stop evolving. There is no goal weight, no finish line, no ultimate transformation. There's only the next adaptation, the next iteration of your best self. You are a work in progress until your very last breath. Stop looking for shortcuts. Stop chasing a done moment. Stop outsourcing evolution to apps, trainers, and influencers. The Forge mindset demands responsibility. It demands self awareness. It demands autonomy. And it demands consistency without comfort. Think about it in contrast to modern fitness culture. Instagram transformations, influencer programs, and 30-day plans all promise completion. They promise validation. They sell the illusion of evolution while limiting your autonomy. You think you're improving, but you're often just following instructions. You're compliant, you're predictable, you're fragile. The Forge mindset flips the script. You train to test yourself, to adapt, to survive, to thrive. Not to impress, not to validate, and certainly not to be sold another subscription. Here's a good analogy. Modern fitness programs are amusement parks, controlled, safe, entertaining. They look great on pictures. The Forge mindset is the wilderness survival train, unpredictable, demanding, and endlessly challenging. In an amusement park, you feel like you're growing stronger, but you're just spinning in circles on a padded ride. In the wilderness, every challenge tests your body and mind, and you don't know what's behind the next tree. So every misstep teaches. You might blow an ankle, you might throw out a shoulder, but it teaches you. Every adaptation is then earned, and the evolution never stops. The forged mindset is lonely because it rejects validation from metrics, influences, and social media. It rejects prepackaged plans that dictate your limits. You must be comfortable being uncomfortable. You must tolerate uncertainty. You must trust your body, your mind, your instincts. You must embrace setbacks as feedbacks, and most people cannot do this. That's why they remain dependent, fragile, and profitable to the system. You, on the other hand, can do it. And that's the difference between mediocrity and mastery. So, what does this look like in actual practice rather than just the philosophy we keep talking about? It has to look like experimentation. You have to be testing limits, trying new challenges, adjusting based on feedbacks. And yes, you could be doing the same hero workout, but you should change that hero workout for something else a little bit differently. Instead of doing 100 push-ups, do 100 weighted push-ups, 100 decline push-ups, or 100 handstand push-ups. You are always changing, adapting, evolving the same workout to be more to you and to you alone. It looks like self-sovereignty, making decisions based on capability, not marketing. And it looks like anti-fragility, thriving under stress, learning from adversity, and evolving with every challenge. At the end of the day, the Forge mindset is a philosophy of self-evolution. It refuses to define progress with external metrics, endpoints, or validation. It trains for capability, autonomy, and resilience. It uses adversity as fuel, not as a measuring stick. It embraces discomfort as the forge for adaptation, and it recognizes that there is no done, no goal weight, no finish line, only the next challenge, the next adaptation, the next iteration of your best self. Modern fitness isn't fitness. It's a cage. A cage disguised as a gym, a studio, a boutique program, or a shiny app. It makes you weaker. Not because you're incapable or you lack the ability to do a 500-pound deadlift, but because it stole your autonomy, your curiosity, and your ability to trust yourself. It replaced challenge with comfort, independence with subscriptions, capability with compliance. Every influencer, every algorithm, every science-backed 12-week plan is designed to extract something from you, whether it be attention, data, money, while giving you the illusion of progress. You think you're growing stronger. You're not. You're buying fragility. One post, one gadget, one dopamine hit at a time. That has to stop here. Forged grit exists to return what has been stolen. Not with shortcuts, not with gimmicks, not with comfort. We are aiming to give it back through pain, through repetition, through relentless ownership. The gym is not a therapy session. It's a forge. Every bead of sweat, every aching joint, every moment where your mind says quit is a hammer striking the steel of your body and mind. You are the steel. You are not a passive participant. You are a craftsman, the blacksmith, the architect of your own evolution. When you reclaim sovereignty in training, it doesn't stay just in the gym. It spills into every corner of your life. You learn to endure. You learn to make decisions under stress. You learn to adapt when the world refuses to hand you perfect conditions. You learn that discomfort is not an obstacle. It is data. It is feedback. It is the very instrument of growth. Modern fitness hides this under a blanket of convenience and entertainment. Forge grit puts it front and center. You step into the forge and the world begins to shape itself around your newfound strength, not the other way around. This isn't going to be a feel-good pep talk. That's not why I'm here. There's no magic here. There's no algorithm, no supplement, no gadget that will do it for you. The truth is much harsher. You do not need another coach. I am not a coach. You do not need another plan. I do not sell you plans. You do not need another inspirational quote, another transformation reel, another promise of instant results. You need a forge and the courage to step into it. So that every session, every mile, every repetition, every long carry, every grind is your ownership in action. The pain is never punishment then. The repetition is not monotony. They are the instruments of your freedom. And make no mistake, Freedom is earned. Durability is earned. Adaptability is earned. Sovereignty is earned. That forged mindset, and it's forged over years in the fire of deliberate, relentless effort. Because there is no finish line. There is no endpoint. There is only the next test, the next challenge, the next iteration of your best self. And that is where real fitness, real capability lives. The rest is all marketing. The rest is consumption. The rest is dependency dressed up as progress. The Forge Grit method doesn't care about your scale. It doesn't care about your Instagram following. It doesn't care about your shiny gadgets or your perfectly executed at work workouts. It cares about you being capable. Capable in your own body, capable in your own mind, capable in your own life. When you step into the Forge willingly, consistently, without excuses, you reclaim what was stolen, your autonomy, your independence, your power. Look, suffering is a universal law of growth. Avoid it and you remain fragile. Embrace it and you become anti-fragile. The gym, the trail, the long carry, the heavy lift, these are all metaphors in instruments at once. They teach you discipline, they teach you patience, they teach you resilience, they teach you ownership of yourself. And when you internalize that, life outside the gym is no longer chaos. It's training you to navigate with purpose, with capability, with sovereign authority over your own choices. Durability, adaptability, capability, sovereignty, forged mindset. Not hashtags, pillars, non negotiable. They are the blueprint for the capable, self directed human. They are the essence of forging grit. Every rep, every mile, every grind is a strike of the hammer in your forge. Every act of ownership, every moment of discipline, every embrace of discomfort shapes you into someone who cannot be bought, cannot be broken, cannot be controlled. The world will try to sell you on compliance and comfortability. It will try to distract you. It will offer comfort in exchange for your autonomy. Do not take it. Take the forge. Take the pain. Take the repetition. Take the ownership. Step into the grind. Step into the discomfort. Step into the relentless practice of your evolution. Step into your sovereignty. And finally, know this: freedom through suffering is the paradox of real power. It's painful, it's relentless, it's inconvenient, but it works. Every ounce of effort, every moment of resistance, every session executed without excuses compounds. You become durable, you become adaptable, you become self directed, you become infinite. And that is the Forge Grit method. Not a program, not a subscription, not a gadget, a forge, a philosophy, a lifelong practice. Now get to work.